Hey guys, it's the Lazy Bum Reviewer here. Apologies for the lack of the intro, and apologies for the lack of attire. I don't really have any Star Trek stuff for the Star Trek Beyond review, so that is to say we are reviewing Star Trek Beyond. So, the first thing I should talk about is I'm not a huge Star Trek fan, so I don't really have a lot of expectations for what a Star Trek movie should be. And that being said, I was not looking forward to this because it was directed by Justin Lin, and even though I just said that, I didn't feel like he was the right guy to be directing a Star Trek movie. If you don't know, Justin Lin is the director of Fast and 5 and Fast and Furious 6, but not 7. He directed Fast 5 and Fast 6, which are pretty much the best Fast and Furious movies, as far as I understand it. I think they're all pretty much the same, so... and he just does dumb, fun, summer blockbuster action movies, and I didn't think he could handle something like Star Trek, which is more philosophical, sci-fi, conversation-based. And with the track record that these films have of being just kind of exciting, fun action movies, but not really Star Trek movies, I was concerned that we'd delve even further down that route. And by getting rid of J.J. Abrams, get rid of any and all character and just go for the fun action. That being said, this was a really solid film, quite possibly the best of the three. And I am in utter shock because of the advertising, because of the director, and because of the track record of all these movies. I was really expecting this to be a dumb, stupid action movie that I wouldn't enjoy at all. And I am in utter shock at how much this was a Star Trek movie and how much this was a character piece. That is to say that this isn't a fantastic story. It's a good story. It's a good, solid, let's get the ball rolling story, but it's not an excellent story by any means. It's more of an excellent character piece. We do get to explore mainly Spock, Kirk, and McCoy, who are the triad of the original series, which is really what makes this feel like an episode of the original series. And aside from the beginning and the ending, this really does feel like a 2-hour episode of Star Trek. And I think that is the movie's biggest advantage, is that it isn't Star Trek Into Darkness, it isn't trying to be the next Wrath of Khan, it isn't trying to be the next big, huge event. It's more like Star Trek 4, which is one of my favorite Star Trek movies, probably my second favorite next to Wrath of Khan, and because of that, that is really a strength of the movie, is that it feels like its own self-contained story, and it isn't trying to do anything big or massive or big budget, really until the end of the movie, and really at the beginning of the movie with this exciting action scene that was really well shot and really well directed, and that's great. Something about the characters in this movie is really great, and it's that this movie starts 3 years into the 5-year Star Trek, the trek around the space, and it really feels that way. It feels like this is a seasoned cast of Star Trek actors that leapt off of a television show to the big screen. It really feels like there's a moment in that movie, that big exciting action scene I was just talking about, where it's just go, and all of them feel like they know what they're doing, they feel competent, they feel like we know what our role is, and we're going to do that role, and that's what we're doing. And that's great. It really feels like we jumped onto a television series, which actually makes this movie kind of make me want even more than before a television series with this cast of characters. And more so than I think the previous two films, it really does feel like this crew is the crew from the original series, just recast. And they all do a great job being those characters. The villain of the film is played by Idris Elba. I find him serviceable. I don't think he really gets too interesting till the very end of the movie. And even then, I don't think Idris Elba does a particularly like fantastic job as him. But his backstory is definitely interesting, and as you uncover the secrets of his plan and what he's trying to do and what this is all about, the movie does get better. That being said, this is an extremely simple story, as I said before. It really does feel like an episode of the television show, surviving on this planet, and the movie tends to meander, and in that the movie isn't phenomenal. It's really solid, but it's not phenomenal. Like, there's nothing here that's going to blow your mind. It's just a fun, really well done summer movie. And so I think that this is kind of the summer movie that I've been waiting for, because I felt like this summer in general just kind of sucked, and this year for movies is really bad. And this feels like a summer movie. This feels like a big, fun action movie that is nothing phenomenal, but it's really well done. It's really solid. And it feels like Star Trek. It's the most Trekky out of the three, and it might just be the best out of the three. I don't know. I would have to watch them all in succession to really figure out, and I don't see myself doing that anytime soon. But just based on memory and experience in the theater, I think this is the best of the three so far. And yeah, it's a really fun movie. It has stuff for new fans. It has stuff for old fans. It has references to the original. It is it's the 50th anniversary. And it really feels like that at times, but it doesn't let that anniversary thing take hold of it, and it just becomes a reference fest. It is its own story. And it's fun. I don't think the villain is anything too great. I don't think the story is anything too great, but for being a simple, fun, straightforward, episodic feeling movie, it's really well done. And I want to see where this cast goes, and I want to see what the next movie is. And I would absolutely bring Justin Lin on again, because his directing in the action scenes and in the movie and in the characters in general is absolutely fantastic. I want to almost write an apology letter for thinking, oh, this is going to be stupid, he's just a Fast and Furious guy, because it turns out he's a really big fan of Star Trek, and it turns out that he really brought his A game. And this movie is proof positive. Trailers don't mean everything, because it really just blew me away in terms of how good it was. That isn't to say that it's mind-blowing. It isn't. But it blew me away because I thought it was going to be so bad, and that it ended up being good is actually quite a shocker. So that's all I have to say about Star Trek Beyond. Thumbs up for me. It's a really good movie. Did you see it? What did you think of it? Comment below. Let me know your thoughts. And if this is the first video you watched, thanks for watching. Leave a like, please. Subscribe if you want to see more content from the guy who just loves movies. This has been the Lazy Bum Reviewer. Peace out.